Robinson's Beardo IPA.
Life is too short to be drinking shitty beer.
Welcome to another edition of Bands, Bikes and Booze Reviews. The sun is not over the yard arm, but I don't give a fuck. I'm having a beer. And today, as I was out and about in Lidl's, against my better judgment, I decided to pick up a couple of beers. I got one from the Williams brothers downstairs, and I got this stuff. Didn't know anything about it. Saw it, and I thought I'll get it. It's Beardo IPA. Now, this has come from the Robinson's Brewery. If you've ever heard of them, or they sound familiar, it will be because you've heard of them brewing Trooper Ale. Of course, the Iron Maiden tribute ale was brewed by them. I've reviewed that on the channel. If you want to go and watch the review, basically that was a really, really average pint. In fact, it didn't do anything for me at all. It was one of them ones where there was, you know, it promised so much, and you drank it and you just thought, oh, for fuck's sake, what is the point? Why did you bother? Well, I know why they bothered, because, you know, they wanted to use the name of Iron Maiden to sell it. But I'll tell you something, if I was in a band that was doing a tribute beer, the beer would have to be fucking top notch, otherwise I wouldn't put my name to it. It appears Iron Maiden have, and to be honest, I'm not really an Iron Maiden fan. I know I should be, they're West Ham fans, well, most of them are anyway. But to be honest, early Iron Maiden, I don't mind. The later stuff, I just think is a pile of Scheiß, as they say in Germany. Anyway, let's get on to this beer. Right, this is a 330ml bottle. It is 6% and it's an IPA. Doesn't say which IPA. Could be an English, could be an American style IPA. I really don't know. It doesn't really make a big thing about it. Labels, got some punts with a beard. Do you know what? When I first started growing a beard, it must have been, it was over 10 years ago. I think it was in 2007. And it got this long and everyone used to take the piss out of me. You know, I was called all sorts. They used to call me C6 Steve and everything, and fucking Weirdy Beardy, the wizard, fucking everything. Next thing, all these ponces started growing beards, these fucking hipsters, and I think this is what they're trying to do here. And yeah, I mean, he looks like a bit of a twat, doesn't he, to be fair? If I saw a bloke like that with an hat and them glasses, and I just think, oh, you're a fucking bellend. But what do I know? What does it say on the back? Cultivating the finest facial furniture is a complex task. Fucking right it is. The discerning beard wearer deserves a tipple of hoppy intensity to complement their effort. Cut through the fuzz with hits of fruity citrus zing. An IPA for serious beardos. Are they taking a fucking piss out of me or what? Because beardos are an international concern. See neck. Best before end, see neck. February 21. Robinson's, based up in Stockport near Manchester, 6%, contains malted barley and wheat, no indication whatsoever of the hops or the malt that's used. Great, this is another one of them guessing games. Let's get it open and let's see what's going on. Now, they promised fruity and citrusy aromas, which you would expect from an IPA. So let's see if it lives up to that name. The cap is plain black, nothing on there. On the nose out the bottle, really faint, and I remember this from the Iron Maiden, the Trooper stuff. The aromas were just virtually non-existent. There's some vague floral notes coming out of that, but really nothing. You really have to dig deep to get anything out of it. Now I've tried to clean this glass as best I can, but I don't know whether this is going to be dirty again. But let's get it into the glass. Yeah, it's still dirty at the bottom of it. Fuck's sake! One day I will clean this glass, and you will not get bubbles sticking to the side. Right, beer is now in the glass. Fair bit of carbonation, one finger white, foamy, creamy head. Yeah, that's a sort of a light amber colour. A little carbonation in there. Fair bit in there. On the nose. Oh, It smells a bit weird. There's some, I would say, floral type notes. There's a little bit of citrus, like a lemon type citrus, but they're really faint, very vague. Again, and this is making me think this is a British style IPA. I really don't know much about it at all. Quick one for you. Went on the Robinson's website to try and get some information. You look under our beers, all you've got, web shop is closed due to the coronavirus. And you think, well, you can still show what fucking beers you do. People might actually want to, see the information. Not everyone's going to fucking buy it. They just closed it. They wiped all the info off there, and it's just big notice on there saying we're closed. Well done. So as you can imagine, they're not endearing themselves to me at the moment, but the proof is in the tasting, so that's what I'm going to do now. Cheers. Okay, well it's definitely an English IPA. And to be honest, I have tasted worse. I have to admit. There is some light citrus on there, very subtle. And there's big biscuit malt, and there's some caramel malt on that as well, which is quite nice. It lingers at the end. There is some citrusy notes, as I say, but it's very subtle. There's some slightly bitter hops on that too, which is quite nice. So I'm assuming there's British hops that are used in this. I can't see anything on there that says what hops they're using. No, it's just saying there's barley, wheat, and that's it. Mouthfeel isn't too bad. You see all that carbonation, and I was expecting the worst. And to be honest, this has surprised me a little bit. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought supermarket lager is going to be shit. I'm going to go into a rant about supermarket lager. I'm never buying it again. But actually, it doesn't taste too bad. It's got more character, in my opinion, than the Trooper. That's a very vague beer, Trooper. But compared to this is really good. Compared to that, this is, as I say, definitely English style IPA, and quite drinkable as well. It's cold. It's come out of the fridge. I'm getting some subtle hints of citrus, caramel malt, biscuit malt on the arse end, quite a dry mouthfeel afterwards, and in between that some slight hot bitterness, and altogether it's okay. It's not bad at all. So what's the verdict? Well, I was really surprised because going by the fact that this is made by Robinsons and the fact that they did Trooper and that's very boring, going by the fact that I didn't get much aroma out of this at all, and it was a very nondescript IPA label on the top, I really was expecting the worst. But it isn't that bad. I've certainly had worse than that from Lidl's and Aldi's before. This came from Lidl's. This was part of their beer festival that they were doing. I happened to see a label from I think it was from the same brewery, and it had a beer with 9 hops in it. I just thought, fuck, why the fuck are you putting 9 hops in there? So I don't know what beer that was. It might have even come from the Robinsons Brewery. I'm not sure, but this isn't bad. I'm going to give this, I'll give it a 7 out of 10 because it's pretty much in keeping with the British IPA style, although it's not a fantastic IPA. I mean, they're doing everything that they say on the label. There is, they sort of say citrus zing, but there isn't really a citrus zing. There's subtle citrus, subtle malt, subtle caramel, subtle biscuit malt. Reasonably nice mouthfeel from the wheat. Yeah, perfectly drinkable on a day like this. I'll give it 7 out of 10. Would I recommend it? I can't remember. This was 120. I think it was 125. It was on the bargain basement shelf. I don't know whether it's going to be that if you ever come across it, or whether this was specially brewed for Lidl's. I don't know because there's no fucking information on the website. Well done, Robinsons. But just on its own merits, it's okay. I'll give it a 7 out of 10, and if you can find it cheap, and it's a hot day like this, yeah, get one. It'll be alright. And remember, beer is working class champagne.